Good afternoon. So I've just got home from work and a package was waiting for me, which included this Battlegroup Rulebook. Now this is a set of rules for World War II wargaming. I think most people play it in 15 or 20mm scale, and it was one that I came across 2 or 3 years ago when I first started getting back into wargaming after a break of marriage and children. I had a long break away from wargaming, and I decided I wanted to get back into it. So I came across Battlegroup, and I actually ordered the PDFs of the rulebook. So this is the main rulebook, and then it has various add-ons. And I got the Overlord and the Kursk add-ons on PDF. And I started to collect the 15mm tanks, mainly as Zvezda, but Plastic Soldier Company as well. And I started to build up a collection of those, started to paint them up, and had a look at the rules, got all the bits and pieces ready, and then somebody pointed me towards bolt action. And of course, since bolt action, the last year or 18 months, bolt action is really what I've concentrated on. But I saw that Plastic Soldier Company were having a bit of a sale this week, so I ordered 1 or 2 bits from them, and the Battlegroup book was £5 off, so I think it was 20 quid, reduced to 15. So I thought I actually prefer the hard copy rather than PDFs, plus the fact my iPads, I've got 2, and both of them are playing up. One doesn't work at all and the other is incredibly slow, so I don't really like using the iPads. So I thought I'd get hold of the copy of the book, and maybe I could have a look at actually playing with it. So this is the Battlegroup book. Most of the add-ons for it are sold out, and you can only get them in PDFs, but they do the main rule book is still available. So let's have a look and see what we've got inside. So yeah, 15-20mm. I'm on the Battlegroup Facebook page, and I have been since I first got back into the hobby, and everybody seems to be playing at 20 or 15mm. So what are the contents? We've got the rules, order in which they occur, pinning, which happens in bolt action, aimed fire, firing artillery stuff, vehicle and gun profiles, street fighting, night fighting, winter, general winter, recce, and then some scenarios that we can start off with, and at the end some removable card inserts, a quick reference sheet, counters, data cards for Canada and Germany. So, introduction to the game. It is, let's have a look, how many pages? So we've got 144 pages plus a couple of extra sheets at the end. Lots of nice photographs and some drawings throughout. This is just a quick look at the book, really. I can't comment on the way the game works because I've not played it, obviously. So it's really just a look at the book. And I appreciate it's a little bit zoomed in, but that's because the size of my white base and background, if I take the camera any higher, then you'll see all the rubbish either side of it on my desk. So that's why you can't quite see. Oh, that's better. Movement with a various charts, and again, lots of nice photographs. These are really useful for getting ideas for terrain, as well as painting, see how other people do it, get some ideas how to create bits and pieces of terrain. Suppress and fire, aimed fire, small arms, infantry weapons. So it looks like we've got a little bit of information on the different types of weapons. So we've got machine guns, flamethrowers, artillery, mortars. So how they work in the game. Aimed fire with the penetration, armour penetration charts. All the facts and figures required. Artillery fire, barrage, airstrikes, morale. So I don't know how the rules work, so I can't comment on how it all operates, how easy it is, etc. Good, nice quality of paper. It's heavy gloss paper. It's a nice substantial book. Aircraft, and we have a dead cow in the road there. Anti-aircraft, engineering, and some scenarios and special rules. So it's very similar to the way the bolt action book, rulebook works. Explanation at the beginning with different scenarios. Urban assault, breakout scenarios, and then we go to the campaign, Canada versus Germany. So then we go to the end. We've got Battlegroup and how the points work out for the different units. So for instance, we get artillery unit there. Forward observer team 16 points with 2 men, a jeep and a spotter. A heavy mortar team 29 points. Defences, so you get points for different defence setups: foxholes, trenches, sniper hideouts, barbed wire. So that's an interesting departure from bolt action, because you don't get certainly you don't have points for different barbed wire and all the rest of that kind of stuff. You just take what's on the table. Reconnaissance, logistics, then we get the German side with their points and special rules. Again, I love the photographs throughout the book. And then armoured vehicles, points, and armour movement. Appendix. So we've got the charts required for the game, the reference charts. So we've got the movement tables, morale table, suppressed fire table. Not entirely sure what the counters are for yet. Penetration table, small arms rate of fire. And then we get a double page advert for Plastic Soldier Company, which makes 15 and 20mm versions of their vehicles and troops. And they do a few 28mm. They've got Russians, which I've certainly got on my bolt action Russian force, the anti-tank gun, infantry, and there's another box of Russian, heavy weapons, there it is. They do those in 28mm. And then we get tear out reference sheets. So on the rippable paper there, so you don't need to photocopy them from the book. And we get our counters. And reference cards. So there are loads and loads of reference cards. This the book just contains a sample of the ones that are outlined in the campaign scenarios. Again, they're rippable out, or rip-outable, for such a verb. And we get a few more for the German side. So that's the book. Just on the subject of those cards, when I initially bought the PDF of the rules a couple of years ago, I bought all the reference cards as well. So you can buy these separately. That's how many there are for the Germans. And they come in A4 sheets, I think. I've just cut them up and laminated them. So nothing on the back, and you get all the required details for each vehicle. So just sort of randomly looking through, you can see that just about everything's covered. I'm not sure how many there are there, but there's quite a few. And I also got the German, the Russian set as well. So not as many as the Germans, but again, quite a few different vehicles. And similarly, there's a T-34. I can't remember how much I paid for them. But I got them from the Plastic Soldier company website. So all I've got to do now is have a look through, work out how to play it, and then find somebody to have a test game with. And maybe I'll do a battle report of my first Battlegroup game, if I can get somebody to have a game at some stage. So that's it, the Battlegroup Rulebook. World War II, 20 and 15mm wargaming, and a quick look at the rulebook. Thanks for watching.